Most of us have heard the same advice. When your child acts out, put them in timeout. They'll calm down, they'll think about what they did, they'll learn their lesson. But after more than a decade working with children, there was always one question I found myself coming back to. What if stopping the behavior and teaching the lesson aren't always the same thing? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, the Nurture Navigator, a child development professional and behavior specialist, and this is Little Feedback Guidance. Here, we look at parenting through a lens of faith, science, and love. We pay attention to what's happening in the brain and the nervous system. We ground ourselves in God's wisdom, and we lead with compassion without losing clarity, boundaries, or authority. Today, we're gently stepping into something many of us have seen, used, or maybe even been taught by people we trusted. Time out. And before we talk about it, I want to start with this. Most adults who use timeouts are trying to do something good. They're trying to teach. They're trying to create a pause. They're trying to help a child understand what you did matters. And honestly, that part is right. Our actions do matter. Children do need boundaries. They do need accountability. But over the years, sitting with children in their hardest moments, watching the moments before the behavior and the moments after, I started noticing a piece we don't always talk about. What happens between the consequence and the lesson. Because discipline was never meant to only end a moment. It was meant to shape a heart, build a skill, restore connection, and help a child believe. I made a mistake, but I know how to make it right. Are you ready? Let's go. If you use timeouts in your home right now, please hear my heart when I say that there's absolutely no judgment here. There's absolutely zero judgment here because we're all just doing our very best to keep everyone safe and keep our own sanity when the living room or the classroom turns into a total circus. But I want us to look at this together gently. Because something huge happens to a child's brain when we send them away into isolation. It actually makes me think of a school where I taught years ago, where we had this sweet, beautiful little 2-year-old boy who didn't have his words yet. Whenever he got completely overwhelmed or had a really strong reaction to something, anything, his go-to move was to bite. And the official advice we were given was to isolate him by pulling him away from the group to sit in a chair by himself with his own separate activity. Teacher included, though. I completely understand why that advice is given, and it really comes from a beautiful place of wanting to protect the other children and keep the classroom safe, which is exactly what every good teacher and parent wants to do. But because he was struggling so much throughout the day, this poor little guy ended up spending almost the entire morning completely cut off from his friends. And even though a teacher was always right there supervising him, emotionally he was still totally alone. It broke my heart to see this, because a child cannot easily learn how to play, share, and connect with others if we remove them from the community the second things get difficult. So, I sat down with the lead teacher and gently suggested that we try a different path by doing the exact opposite and sitting right on the floor with him. That is exactly what we did. staying close so that when things got intense, we did not banish him to a lonely chair, but instead stepped in right where he was to help him walk through the hard moment. Since he didn't have the words yet, we just patiently showed him what to do with all that big, overwhelming energy. And providing that safe alternative to biting completely changed the energy in the room. Once the other children saw that he was safe and they were safe, the most beautiful thing happened, because they were finally able to just relax and enjoy who he truly was. Seeing his bright smile and his sweet, playful spirit instead of just his hardest moments. It completely transformed the whole classroom because it helped him feel understood while making all the other children feel incredibly secure too, as they realized that our room was a safe place where no one gets cast aside for having a hard time. When we only see the last second of a meltdown, it's so easy to call it defiance or bad behavior because we see the explosion and make a quick judgment. But we need to slow the camera way down together so we can actually look at the quiet tension and the backstory before the explosion happens. The behavior is just the very last page of the book. And it is never the first page because our beautiful children are not waking up plotting how to ruin our day. Usually, a massive wave of emotion just beats them to the punch when their little brains simply don't have the wiring to handle it yet, which means they are just drowning in a moment of human struggle and need us to be their gentle guide to pull them through. So what happens when our only tool is pointing to a chair and telling them to go stay by themselves? We have talked a lot about Dr. Bruce Perry's beautiful foundational rule for the brain, which is that we must regulate, then relate, and finally reason. And it is a truth worth repeating because you simply cannot reason or talk things out with a child whose brain is actively on fire because they have to be calm first. When we isolate a highly stressed child, they don't sit there reflecting on what they did wrong because their brain actually registers that separation as a scary threat, which sends their internal panic even higher. They don't learn how to share in that moment. They just learn that when things get tough, they are completely on their own, even though they desperately need us to lend them our calm before they can process or learn a single thing. This is exactly what the wonderful Dr. Gabor Mate means when he talks about how much children need a secure attachment, which is a deep, unbreakable emotional bond with us. When we use isolation as punishment, we are choosing a quick fix over their deep biological need to feel safe with us. And Dr. Mate warns that when we push kids away during their hardest moments, they learn that our love and presence are only a reward for good performance, which makes them stop trusting us with their flaws, so that instead of bringing their big struggles to us, they start hiding them. Long before modern brain scans or attachment science, Ellen G. White wrote about this exact heart connection when she saw that when children make mistakes and we meet them with cold rejection, their little hearts just harden. They might know they did wrong, but they have no clue how to actually do better, which is why she beautifully argued that true connection is about winning the child's soul and drawing them close with love. True discipline isn't about forced obedience or making a child feel abandoned at their absolute worst, but it is about winning their heart so they naturally want to choose what is right. So, how do we keep our authority and hold our boundaries rock solid without pulling away relationally? I'll tell you. Marshall Rosenberg, who is the creator of nonviolent communication, I hope you've already had a chance to look in. We talk about him all the time. Had a brilliant perspective that completely changes how we look at childhood chaos. Because he shared that at any given moment, human beings are really only ever saying two things, which are please and thank you. Think about how beautiful that is, because when a toddler screams, throws a block, or hits a sibling, they aren't trying to be mean. And in Rosenberg's eyes, that behavior is actually a tragic, messy, screaming way of saying please. They are saying, please see me, please help me, and please meet this massive need that I don't know how to explain right now. So, when we answer their desperate pleas with a cold, go away and sit alone, we completely miss their cry for help. Instead of sending them away, our job is to get down on their level and help them translate that please by hugging them close and saying that we see their tight fists and we know they wanted that toy so bad that it is so hard to wait. But we can't let them push because pushing hurts. See what you did there? You didn't let them off the hook, and the boundary is still as steady as a rock. But you are walking through the fire right alongside them, answering their pleas with warm connection while still keeping everyone safe. The real magic happens when we catch it a moment before, noticing the clenched jaw or the little grunting sound before the explosion, because those are not annoyances, but are actually invitations to step in and practice handling big feelings together. We would never hand a teenager the keys to a car without sitting in the passenger seat first. Yet we often expect these tiny hearts to navigate adult-sized emotions perfectly on the very first try. If you used a timeout this morning, I want you to take a deep breath and let that guilt go right now, giving yourself so much grace because we all use the tools we grew up with. And our culture has conditioned us to believe that if we aren't punishing, we aren't parenting. But robust, beautiful character isn't just built on a handful of perfect days, as it is built over thousands of tiny, messy moments of coming back together and making things right, which means your children do not need a perfect adult, but they just need a connected one. When you look at the work of Dr. Perry, Dr. Mate, and even the timeless insights of Ellen G. White, the overarching promise is always the same, because human hearts are incredibly resilient. Healing and growth do not happen in the absence of mistakes, but they happen in the presence of repair. So every single time you choose to stay close, instead of casting your child away, you are helping to soothe their nervous system and teaching them that your love is durable enough to survive their worst day. And look, if you feel like you are about to lose your own temper, taking a break is a wonderful idea, because Dr. Mate often notes that our own explosive reactions are usually just echoes of our own unresolved stress or times we felt overwhelmed in our own childhoods. When we run out of patience, it is simply because our own internal cup is bone dry. So taking space is incredibly healthy, but let's make it a connected break by looking at your little one in the eye and saying that both of you are too upset to fix this right now. And since your body feels angry and their body feels angry, you're going to take 2 minutes to take a deep breath. And then you're coming right back to help them solve it. Think about the profound life lesson you just modeled using Marshall Rosenberg's philosophy. Because by recognizing your own feelings, you are honoring your own need for calm so that you don't react harshly. You show your child that taking space is never an act of rejection or abandonment, but it is a gentle tool to gather your soul so you can return, open your arms back up, and repair. This week, let's try to catch the tension while it's still a gentle whisper before it turns into a loud scream. And when those hard moments come, don't stop at the behavior, but step into the backstory. Help them translate those big emotions and show them that a mistake is never the end of their story. And that was Challenge of the Week. Woo! One day, your sweet child is going to be out in this big world without you standing right there next to them. And they're going to face a massive conflict with a coworker, a hard season in a marriage, or a huge mistake of their own. My deepest, most sincere prayer for our children is that the voice inside their head during those hard times does not tell them to hide, to lie, or to believe they are fundamentally broken and rejected. But I hope that voice echoes with your loving guidance, so it tells them to take a deep breath, take responsibility, repair the damage, and try again. Because that is what true, beautiful growth looks like. It isn't about never falling down, but it is knowing exactly how to get back up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and sharing your heart today. So keep guiding those beautiful little feet with all the warmth in the world. And I will see you right here next week.